do your best. And in fact, that's it. It's do your best. Do your very best. But too many people take that and say, well, I'll do what I'm willing to do and say that that's my best. Or too many people say, well, I was just born this way, so that's my best. That's not honest. That's not honest. And again, I'm not the judge of anybody, but I'll tell you, in my personal circumstances, these are considerations that I take into mind. I say to myself, because something's hard, because I found myself in circumstances that I didn't want, and things are hard, is that enough for me to not care or to do anything I want? And the answer is no. The answer is no, that's not a good enough reason. Because what else is being taken into consideration? My intent, my heart condition, my genuineness or my lack of it. So these are all things that get put into context. But if I'm literally incapable of doing a thing, and I can identify that, yes, I am literally incapable of doing that thing, then there's no reason for me to walk around with a guilty conscience. That's another thing to write down. There is absolutely no reason to walk around with a guilty conscience over things that you are literally incapable of doing. Remember, incapable means that it's beyond your capacities as a person to do. That again, that example of the person who is mentally insane, their brain is malfunctioning. They are literally incapable, meaning they couldn't, even if they wanted to, think straight. The very thing that they would use to think straight is not operating correctly. So they're going to, working in the hospital, for example. I think I told this story a while back, but I'll tell it again. I was working with this feller who had damaged his frontal lobe. When you damage your frontal lobe, what that does is that it takes away all your inhibitions. So if you get an idea pops in your head to do something, you just do it. We were walking through, we were doing physical therapy. I can't remember if it was physical therapy or occupational therapy. We were walking through the hospital there. Me, the therapist, this guy with the damage to the frontal lobe, and there was a guy on a ladder, a big tall ladder, and his feet were sticking out of the ceiling of the hospital. He was up in the ceiling doing some kind of work. And we walked by that ladder, and that guy with the damage to the frontal lobe reached out, laughing to himself like it was just the funniest thing in the world, and grabbed a hold of that guy's ladder and just started shaking it like this. And the guy fell off the ladder, but he's holding up inside the roof, inside the ceiling, so that he don't fall down. And his legs were dangling, and whoa, hey, what's going on? And we had to stop that guy and put the ladder back. The patient who had the damage to the frontal lobe did not understand that what he had just done was something that's not nice to do. It did not even occur to him. So that's the sort of thing I'm talking about. Him doing that to the guy on the ladder who could have fallen from the roof and hurt himself. That, do you understand that because the guy is incapable, his frontal lobe is damaged, because he's incapable of controlling his inhibitions. Do you understand that is not weighed in the same severity as if I had done it, right? Somebody with a frontal lobe that operates perfectly well. Can you imagine the therapist, the Spanish-speaking patient, and me, the interpreter, walking by, and I'm just interpreting along, interpreting along, and we come to that ladder. Can you imagine me just reaching out and that's hilarious? I'd have lost my job. I would have lost my job. That's the type of thing I'm talking about. Two things, one person capable, another person not capable of a thing. The person who's incapable cannot be weighed on the same scales as the person who is capable.